It's a battle of the undefeateds as Bennett Academy welcomes St. Viator to Benedictine. The Red Wings are coming off a massive 42-0 win over De La Salle last weekend, while the Lions won 34-7 on the road over Marmion Academy. On Bennett's opening possession, the give is to Martin Radgowski, who surges forward through traffic into Lions territory before finally being dragged down at the 36 after a 19-yard gain. A few plays later on third down, Ryan Kubacki fakes the handoff and throws over the middle to Luke Doyle, who gets wrestled down at the 11-yard line of St. Viator for a 24-yard completion. The drive is capped off a few plays later at the 1 as Radgowski runs forward and tumbles his way into the end zone to put the Red Wings out in front first, up 7-0. The defense would force a St. Viator punt on the next drive and would get quality field position as the snap is too high for the punter. He tries to run for it but gets taken down at the 20, setting up 1st and 10 for Bennett, leading to a Red Wing field goal. To end the first quarter, the Lions charge right back as quarterback Cooper Kmet, brother of Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet, gets the wide receiver screen to Davion Ellis, who slips his way through a convoy of blockers and runs inside Bennett territory to the 30 after a 41-yard catch and run. However, in the second quarter on 4th and 20, the Lions go for it as Kmet's pass is tipped but caught by Artegan Damasio. He makes a break for it but is stopped just a yard short of the first down, giving the ball right back to Bennett. On the ensuing Red Wing possession, Kubacki loads up the nuclear codes and launches it deep for Doyle, who gets behind the defense and makes the catch. He is off to the races and in for a 79-yard touchdown strike to extend Bennett's lead up 16-0 following a missed PAT. Kubacki continues his stellar first half on the next drive, calling his own number and running to the Lions' red zone for a 16-yard run. That leads to more points as Kubacki throws the slant to Luke Wilds, who is in for another touchdown as Bennett goes up 23-0 at the half. In the third quarter, St. Viator is poised to strike back. On the end around, Kmet gives the ball to Ellis, who cuts towards the sidelines and plows into the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown run as the Lions are on the board, down 23-6. Following a Bennett turnover, Kmet gets the arm going, throwing it deep to Sasha Summers, who stays in along the sidelines before being taken out of bounds for a 36-yard catch. On the next play, Kmet dumps it off to Michael Tauscher, and he does the rest on a 4-yard touchdown catch to cut the lead down 23-13. Now in the fourth quarter on third down, Kmet keeps the chains moving as he rolls to his left and throws deep to Jalen Tlachetka, who gets in Bennett's red zone after a 25-yard pass, leading to a Lions field goal. Bennett looks to put things away on the next drive, but Kubacki's pass for Doyle is taken away by Ellis for the interception to give more life for the Lions. However, the Red Wing defense would hold strong as on 4th and 13, Kmet's deep ball is tipped down by Bennett defenders as the Red Wings hang on to a 23-16 win over St. Viator, improving to 4-0 on the season. Next game up for the Wings is on the road against Mount Carmel.
First half for us, we started out hot. I mean, we were guns blazing, and then second half, stuff happens, but we got it done. That's what matters in the long run.
Yeah, it was a great first half. My O-line played their tails off all day. The whole day they were just getting after the other team. And, physicality, that's what wins football games. And so, couple faults on me for missing a couple of receivers, but my O-line had my back, and they battled the entire way, and that was the difference.
It's rivalry night to kick off football season as Neuqua Valley travels to face Waubonsie Valley. It's the first meeting between the two teams in 2 years as Neuqua looks to extend its win streak against Waubonsie, while the Warriors are looking to get their first win over the Wildcats since 2018. Second drive for Waubonsie, Colin Ford throws it short for Gavin Ali Hanlon, but it's too high and tipped off his hands. Pierce Stevens makes the sliding play for the interception to give Neuqua a short field. A couple plays later, Andy Barkley gets the handoff and goes beast mode, shaking off several tackles before rumbling his way down to the 5-yard line, setting up the Wildcats in the red zone. A few plays later, the drive is capped off by the man who started it as Stevens gets the pitch and plunges forward for the touchdown to put the Cats up 7-0 off the turnover. After a few more plays, Nequa's defense cashes in once more. Ford fakes the handoff and throws a slant to Beninciago, but it's off his hands. Colton Mata makes another sliding play for the pick. Nequa sets up again with quality field position. Now in the red zone, the give is to Barkley, who surges ahead and hops his way into the end zone to make it a 14-0 lead for Nequa. The Warriors would add 2 field goals later in the half to make it 14-6 Nequa at halftime. We jump ahead to the third quarter. Ford looks to open up the passing game and chucks it deep for Ali Hanlon. It's a toss-up for the ball, and as the Warrior faces interference, he makes the catch on a 41-yard reception to put Wabanzi in scoring position. Nequa's defense bounces back as Ford throws it to Siago, but it's intercepted again by Mata to keep it an 8-point advantage for Nequa. Moving to the fourth quarter, Barkley enters beast mode again as he somehow shuffles past the pile and has green grass ahead of him. He is off to the races and dashes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. This one a 65-yarder to make it a 21-6 point lead for Nequa in the waning minutes of the game. However, momentum shifts. On the ensuing Nequa possession, Will Tracy goes untouched and shuts down the run on 4th and 1. The Cats recover the fumble, but it's a turnover on downs with a Warriors ball at midfield. A couple of plays later, Ford rolls right, avoids the rush, and floats it to James Stansel, who rumbles forward for a 23-yard gain to keep the Warriors very much alive. Now on 4th and 11, it's do or die. Ford throws the screen to Abriel Epting, and with multiple defenders in front of him, he slips 4 Nequa tackles and pushes in for the touchdown, as the Warriors cut the Wildcats' lead down to 8, still with over 4 minutes left to play. On Nequa's next possession near midfield, they look to run down the clock, but Drake Meneke's pass is off Josh Repman's hands and intercepted by Jack Thurn as the Warriors have the ball near midfield with over 2 minutes left. Ford and Epting work their magic with another screen. This time, Epting evades 5 tackles and gets a huge first down for Wabanzi. Now at the 25-yard line with the earth shaking, Ford loads up and throws it for Ali Hanlon, but the receiver can't hang on to the ball. Wabanzi looks for one more chance to tie up the game. With zeros on the clock, last chance for the Warriors. Ford rolls to his right and looks for an open man, but Nequa's pass rush breaks through as Ford throws incomplete and the buzzer beats. Nequa Valley hangs on to claim a season-opening 21-13 win over Wabanzi, extending their win streak over the Warriors to 6 games. It's their first season opener victory since 2022, and they have their home opener next Friday against Minooka, while Wabanzi goes on the road to face New Trier.
It's really good. I mean, we still got lots of games to play, game by game, as Coach always says, and we're just going to keep bringing it to them. Even if a win is a win. Even if we get close, it's a win.
You know, I got to give all the credit to my coaches and teammates. We made the transition like 3/4 of the way through the summer over to defense. The leaders, Hoffman and Tommy Westrom, really took me in. So they really just put me in the position there. Was reading my routes and saw the quarterback size and just decided to go jump the route.
I mean, I came off sickness on Wednesday.
He's that guy. He's that guy.
I feel great now, but I wouldn't have done it without my teammates, man. We all came together tonight. I mean, you saw at the end, we all just all came together. We just all came as one. And we really just showed our heart there at the end.
Naperville North is on the road for the final time this season as they travel to Homewood Flossmoor. The Vikings sit at 4-3, needing one more win to be playoff eligible, while the Huskies are at 5-2 and look to improve their seeding. Naperville North finds themselves down 12-0 early until this red zone drive is capped off with Jacob Bell finding Brock Pettaway, who dashes his way into the end zone to get the Huskies on the board, down 12-7. On the next possession, the Vikings charge right back as Randall McDonald throws it up into double coverage for Arthur McKnight. Along the sidelines, he somehow comes down with it for a 35-yard completion to keep the drive going. Now inside the 5, Miles Green gets the Wildcat snap and lunges forward to make it a 19-7 score. 2 North possessions later, now 19-14, Bell and Pettaway hook up again. Bell throws a dart to Pettaway for another touchdown as the Huskies now go up 21-19 heading into halftime. In the third quarter, Bell looks for Quinn Morris, but Carlton Brownfield jumps the route and gets the interception. Homewood Flossmoor would go on to score and take a 26-21 lead. On the next drive, Bell looks deep for Chico Thomas, but an incredible one-handed interception is made by McKnight. He does his best OBJ impression to get the ball back for Flossmoor. On their ensuing drive, facing 4th and 7, the Vikings go for it as McDonald throws towards the corner of the end zone, where Miles Ellis makes a nice catch for a 15-yard touchdown. The Vikings are now up 32-21 as we head into the 4th. Now with the score 40-27 Vikings, Bell rolls to his left and fires one into the arms of Pettaway for his 3rd touchdown catch of the night. The Huskies are down 40-33. Now needing a stop on defense, the Huskies force 3rd and long, but Green and the Wildcat again pushes forward and evades tackles before finally being dragged down at the 1 for a 47-yard run. Now down 48-33 with under 2 minutes left, Bell finds Charlie Schinkel over the middle and down at the 1 to keep the hope alive for the Huskies. On the next play, Bell plunges in for the touchdown to make it 48-40, still with a fighting chance. Needing to convert the onside kick, the Huskies are ready to the task as the kick bounces towards the sideline and is corralled right into the hands of Edward Mumford. He falls down in midfield and the Huskies have a chance. Now in need of heroics, they would get just that as Bell throws as he's hit and finds Quinn Morris. He stays in and lunges over the plane for a 31-yard touchdown catch, but the Huskies now have to convert for 2. On the conversion, Bell calls his own number as number 2 is in from 2 yards out to tie it up at 48 as we go to overtime. In the first overtime, the Vikings' run game rises again. Michael Terrell evades several tacklers before walking in for the touchdown, giving the Vikings first blood. They add a 2-point conversion to make it 56-48. North comes right back as Bell steps up and evades the rush before throwing across his body and finding a sliding Pettaway to keep the Huskies right with them. They get a 2-point conversion as well as we go to double OT. Homewood Flossmoor's run game gets it done again as Jaden Banks breaks 2 tackles and is in for the touchdown to give advantage back to the Vikings. They would line up for 2 with Green and the Wildcat, but this time the Huskies are ready. Green can't get in as North has a shot to pull off the comeback. First play for North, Bell has time and throws to the corner of the end zone where Morris rises up for the great catch. Bell's 9th overall touchdown on the night ties it up at 62. Now just needing to make the PAT to win it, the kick from Tyler Duell is down the middle. Naperville North pulls off an epic 63-62 comeback win over Homewood Flossmoor in double overtime. The Huskies move to 6-2 and improve on their playoff seeding heading into the final game of the regular season.
Good, man. It obviously helps with placement, but we know we got players all around. We don't got a gap on the offense or defense, I believe, but yeah, we got good players everywhere, so it's going to be a fun year.
Nah, as a team, I just think we stayed believing. You know, what looked like for most games we were about to lose, and we just kept preaching, just trust, and keep going. And you know, like we have big playmakers, so like as long as we keep trusting, we're gonna win.
Yes, sir. So you know, we had a couple guys record touchdowns tonight, but Quinn's one of those guys that when you call his number, you know he's gonna come down with it. So you know, it just came down to trust. Brock Petway is another one of those guys. So, you know, when the play is called to them, I just let the ball go. I know that they're going to come down with it. So that's honestly the thought process. That's how we end up winning this game. And our defense did, you know, just enough to make sure that we won this game.